Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Hello again, and thanks for joining me for this new video. My last colour pencil piece was a bit of a marathon, and it really tested my skills and my patience in many ways, so I was feeling a little bit burnt out. So this week I decided to do something a little bit faster and a lot more free. I dug into my old pile of reference photos and I found one that I really liked. This one's from paintmyphoto.com. It's not a very highly detailed photo, but it had a lot of contrast in it, and that kind of got me thinking as to what I could do with it. I've only used my polychromos pencils this week. I wanted to capture a certain sort of glowing luminosity to this piece, and the polychromos pencils are just that little bit more transparent than, say, the other wax-based ones, and it makes it just a little bit easier to get that real deep, dark shine. For this whole piece, I've really only used about 5 or 6 pencils all up, and of those, there was really only 3 that stole the show, which were the black, the Prussian blue, and the sky blue. Using this quite limited palette, it really allowed me to concentrate more on the tones and the textures, which felt really relaxing and fun to do, especially after that last piece in which it kind of felt like I'd used every pencil in the box. I wasn't really trying to chase any realism for this one, I was trying to be much more expressive. So the only place where I really chased for fine detail was on the eyes and on those fine beak feathers. For the rest of the piece, I sort of put my reference photo to the side and only glanced at it kind of occasionally to make sure I wasn't getting anything drastically wrong. But for the most part, I just held my pencil very, very loosely in my hands, and I just sort of worked my darks and lights in a way that I felt would give a really dramatic effect. In the end, I only spent about 3 hours colouring this piece, plus only about half an hour drawing it up. So it's probably one of the fastest colour pencil pieces I've ever done. And of course there are a few imperfections to show for that, but I was really surprised what I was able to achieve in that time. And this might actually be one of my favourite pieces so far. It's funny what you can do when you just sort of let loose and see what happens. Now, even though I really love the way this turned out, I really only had spent a few hours on it, so I wasn't overly emotionally invested in this piece. So I decided to do a little experiment. So after I'd finished taking all my photos and scanning this piece into my computer, I went outside and gave this piece a good spray with some gloss varnish. And I must say that after a couple of coats, I really, really love the effect that gives. Looking at this piece in real life, it's kind of hard to believe that it's not actually a painting. I get more and more amazed at what colour pencils can do every day. And here's the finished piece. I'd love to hear what you think with a like or a comment. And if you have any questions about how I use colour pencil, please feel free to leave a question in the comments. I'll try to answer you as best I can, or perhaps lead it into a tutorial in the near future. And if you'd like to see what I come up with next, why not hit the subscribe button? Thanks for watching, guys.